Back then, there were a couple of really big exchanges there. We were the smallest and the youngest guys who were building an exchange. But we knew that, we had to build it such that it is more user friendly. A lot of detail was going into play, like how we build it. All this 14 years of that experience was all sort of, concentrated into how do we do the best, when we launched WazirX. And yes, we did. In March, we launched WazirX. We were the smallest and the youngest exchange in India. And there were already a lot of folks, very big guys who actually were running the show in India. And probably about 20 or 30 days after we launched is when the RBI announces a banking ban, which essentially means that none of the exchanges can own a bank account where they can take users' deposit. This basically is, a full stop, right? There's nothing you can do about it. And we were in shock. We're like, hey, we worked so hard, since 3-4 months to build this out. We just launched. And 20 days into it, what do we do? Should we shut it down? Or should we be bold enough to, fight this out? And somehow we believe that in the long term, this is going to be really big. And we did believe in general, right? These are all temporary hurdles. We don't know how temporary, right? Because when it comes to government, we don't know how things are. But we took that call, all of us, right? We decided that we want to build something here and we want to fight this out. I locked myself in a room trying to figure out what's the next solution for us. And that's when we came up with a P2P auto order matching solution. It's a product that we built, which basically meant we need not have the bank account and people can buy and sell directly from somebody else and we just escrow your funds. And that was a breakthrough. There was a time when banks stopped services, people could not enter or exit crypto. And luckily, WazirX became the savior for all these guys who wanted to exit and enter crypto. We essentially just kept on going and making sure everybody is able to get on-ramp and off-ramp to crypto. And that was 2018. It took some time. As we grew, we started growing. We saw that most of the exchanges, big guys, were shutting down. And over course of time, our aggressiveness, our innovation, whatever we were trying to build and simplify things, we became the number one, right? A year back, where we were the smallest and the youngest exchange, probably almost about to close, versus, a year after that, we became number one. Hats off to all the team members, right, who were stayed on, persistent, and believed in all of us, right, what we are doing. And from there, the journey started. And we kept building, we brought in more solutions, and we started expanding our market. Our mission back then was very simple, right? Like, we knew this is going to be really big. We knew this whole crypto revolution is going to be big. We want to make sure that can India participate in this, right? And our goal was basically to take this to maximum people as possible, right? When you get into the whole crypto economics, you realize any projects only runs based on adoption of that token. And our job was to, give that chance to people in India and be part of this. We understand that how India left out in the whole .com boom. We wanted to be very sure that, at least we are participating in this revolution. And somehow that drove us, from where we started to where we are and what we are doing even today, right? And we always wanted to not just build an exchange, but the whole ecosystem for the future, not so for just today, but for the future. So we are very pro about, decentralized exchanges, NFT marketplace. Everything is just a translation of our thoughts, right? It's something that we already visioned what we want to do, and slowly, step by step, we are, walking towards that. Starting WazirX was one of the most gratifying things. It's not only about the technology, right? It's the impact that we could make. So WazirX has about more than 200 tokens. And these are all projects, right? Ultimately, these are projects which needs cryptocurrency, which has their own utility tokens, and basically that's what fuels the whole project. If there are owners of this token, and if they use these tokens to consume their product, that's how the whole the product works. And what was very amazing about what we realized, what we were building, is we realized that we are creating a big impact, not just for India, right, but also for these 200 or 300 projects. And we are able to take these projects and give the opportunity in India for people to participate in it, right? And it's an amazing thing, right? Without an exchange, you have no way to be participating in these projects. And people in India were like started participating, and they got inspired by that, and a lot of people turned out to become an entrepreneur. A lot of folks, left the other job and started doing something in crypto, whether it's a YouTube video or something around it. And people were getting more inspired by everything that we were doing, right? And it's very gratifying. We have about some 6 million users, and it feels great that we are able to impact 6 million Indian users, who's coming onto the crypto market. I think in 2018 end is when there was a rumor of a bill being passed where everything will be banned. And then again, all of our founders coming together saying, hey, what do we do? Like, what happens? We work so hard, we are working hard, and we want to do this. And what if the government does this, right? Without understanding this. But we stayed on, and everybody was very high spirited to build something for the future. And we stayed on. Market was really bad. Nobody was buying Bitcoin. Business was not so great, but still, we stayed on. All of us, like at least the founders, we took a pay cut saying, hey, you know what? We believe in this, but probably this is not the time, but we'll wait for it and then and see this bloom. And that's exactly what happened, right? Like, we were doing a great job product wise. We were able to get to more people, we were able to educate more people and build this whole industry in India. In all this journey, in all this mess, where the markets are low, nobody's interested, nobody's talking about cryptocurrencies, we working really hard every day to make progress, right? And somewhere in 2019 is when we met Binance. Binance is world's biggest exchange, and they saw potential in us. What we were doing, and that's when it struck us. This is where we should partner together, and an acquisition happened. And it has again been an amazing journey now because we have a better worldly perspective about how this industry is growing. And every day it just amazes me, where we are heading, right? How the industry is changing within months, within just few months, you can see a trend changing into something new and a lot of innovation that is happening. In all these times, right, the whole fear of ban or fear of many things keeps coming and going, right? And I would say we just got so used to it. We got really thick skin about it. And also, very importantly, we started doing a lot of self-regulations, right? Like, which is healthy for the industry. And not just at WazirX, we also, partnered with rest of the other guys and started bringing in this self-regulation into the whole picture. Over course of time, they were like smaller wins. And in 2020, we spoke about the RBI ban that happened, right? The banking ban. It was we launched a case in Supreme Court trying to fight for a constitution, right, of what we are doing. Obviously, back then the governments were too early to understand what cryptocurrency is. There was a notion that cryptocurrency is a threat to INR market, or it will replace the legal tender in India. Obviously, that was not the case, and we could prove that in Supreme Court. And to all of us, all the community, the crypto community, we actually won that case. And that was like a moment for all of us, right? Not just for us, by the way, not just for WazirX, for all the folks who believed in the cryptocurrency and stayed on, probably by trading or by buying or investing, whatever, in any form, or maybe even developing, right? This was like a moment for all of us there. It was such a happy moment. And we are very fast with things, right? The day the launch happened, the day verdict came in, we immediately sat and started integrating next bank such that we can enable bank deposits within 24 hours or 48 hours. In fact, the whole team sat inside the office for at least 1.5 days to build this out and launch it. And that's the josh of our team, right? That's the spirit of our team. And I love what we are all building towards. And and from 2020, you can see a lot of increase in volume. We were able to bring in a lot more people. A lot of more people who were confused about Bitcoin suddenly got a green signal, that they want to take the first step. And you will see more institutes coming in and many things around it. And today where we are is all because of all these struggles and all this community that we have built, who have actually supported us to be where we are today.